Hello, how are you? How are you today? How's your day going? Is it a good day? Is it a bad day? Or maybe it's just a normal and ordinary day. Right? If it's a good day, good for you. Just enjoy it. Relax. If it's a bad day, I'm sorry to hear that. And definitely what I'm going to be saying in this video will help you to change that. And if this is an ordinary day, then again, welcome to change that. If you understand what I will be exposing to you in this video, which is a very, very simple idea, no philosophical, no abstract. It's a very down to earth that even a kid will notice. Then you will have a very simple formula to apply to every moment in your life, especially when you feel stuck, especially when you feel that you are emotionally out of balance, that you're not enjoying your life, that you don't feel at peace, that you're not content. We will gonna we will do a practice, okay? Because I want this video to be practical, not just an interesting theory or thought someone throw at you in a video. And you say, oh, and then next video. You know, that's the way our mind keeps us knowing about it, but never doing it, never living it. So we will do a practice for that. But for now, let's talk about what is the difference between feeling good and feeling bad. And I would say that feeling that just normal is not in between. It's tilting actually towards bad. By normal, I mean ordinary in the sense that you don't think today is the best day of your life. You don't think that today is the most important day of your life. Anything like that, it is to me feeling bad. So feeling normal is also feeling bad in this simplification we're doing for this video. So what is the difference between this? I'm feeling good, I'm feeling excited, I'm feeling enjoying, peaceful, loving, appreciating everything that comes to you versus the range between nothing special, nothing, no reason to be incredibly happy just now, towards the direction of even feeling really, really bad, like fear, anxiety, like just not liking your life, or just being trying to solve a very important problem, a very dramatic situation. If you're down that spectrum, then I will ask you, what is difference? The practical difference right now, if you feel yourself, if you see how your mind is working, how your emotions are working, how your body feels, what is the difference between good and bad without thinking about it, just the experience of it? Well, the important part of this video, the insight, the observation is very simple again. So get this. The difference between feeling good and feeling bad is a difference in density. It's a difference in mobility, in flexibility, in adaptability. Let me explain. When you're feeling good, you're just surfing your day. You're just enjoying everything that comes. And things sort of seem to work. But even when something wouldn't work, you would still laugh at it like making a mistake, or just it feels a natural thing. You don't feel bad. You don't even think that it should have been different. But when your life is, it just doesn't feel right. You feel tired. You feel exhausted. You feel not loving it. Maybe not hating it completely, but nothing exciting. It feels something in you is telling you you're missing something. And this missing is right. It's just that most of the time your head will tell you that you're missing a different life in a different time, with getting rid of this and that and having finally this other thing. But no, that's the way your mind is interpreting the missing. The missing that you have is because you know there is something in you that remembers that, only peace and happiness is your natural state. And anything less than that, not working for you. So you feel that gap, congratulations. You're not giving up on being happy. You're not giving up on the life you deserve. So going back to the point, you have these different densities. What it feels good, it feels effortless. It feels flowing. It feels easy. It feels like you're just in an amusement park. Things just flow and people come and people go and things happen. It feels like you're just a part of something bigger. While when you are in a bad moment, you feel stuck. You feel resistance towards what's happening. You're thinking, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. These other things should be happening. And there's a strong rigidness inside of you that is making everything a fight. And this can be very subtle. So it's not just that you're angry or that you're pushing hard. Sometimes for many people, it's just like an apathy. It's like you just gave up from a good life. You tried, but you couldn't do it. So, yeah. And that is, you're dragging yourself through your life. There's still a lot of resistance. The natural flow, it feels like a peaceful, huge amount of energy and spontaneous motivation to do things and excitement, but in a right now kind of excitement, not just because one day you will be rich or famous or get rid of the huge problem you have now. No, on the other hand, excitement like you're gonna learn, you're gonna turn things around, you feel empowered, you feel a lot of energy to do. So someone who's really understanding this point will flow forever in a state of with a lot of energy, a lot of deep fulfilling fulfillment, a deep sense of joy. But at the same time, you find yourself peacefully flowing and doing things, but at the same time, not needing to be in any way special. You just do it and okay. Happens when it happens. You're still happy. You're still content. You feel you just appreciate that you had the chance to be alive. So the difference between these two things that apparently your mind or that you don't understand, I have this trauma or this complicated situation in my life. Well, I'll tell you, no, that's not your unhappiness. That's not the reason why you don't feel good. It's not anything external to you that is actually blocking this endless flow of harmony in your life. What is blocking it? It is something. Let's not go into assumptions. We're talking about really observing it in real time. That's what really liberates. What I'm walking you through is making the distinction between and noticing. It's a very, very, very important point that when you're good, you're flowing, you're easy, things are effortless, and you're in flow. But when you feel bad, you feel stuck, you feel fighting. It's a very, very important distinction because that alone can help you adjust moment by moment in a way that will build up and will tap back into your natural flow of happiness like when you were a kid. You can do that. I don't care how much shit have you been living and how much drama and how complicated your mind or your life is. It doesn't matter. I'm seriously telling you. And you can challenge me with any situation. I will help you get to the point to realize that no, that's not slaving you. Nothing external to you is slaving you. And it's okay to fail. Let's put it this way. I'm not just trying to make this that you feel bad you're a loser or anything like that. No, no, no. On the contrary. Yeah, life sometimes feels challenging, but it is not challenging. It feels challenging. And that's the freedom. That to understand, oh, it is you. It's not life. It's not the things. It's not your body. It's not even your mind. It is the stance you're taking towards the experience that is actually turning things around and making life anything less than enjoyment. Even in difficult moments, even in challenging moments, you can have a challenge and feel very, very excited and empowered. Or you can have a slight minimal challenge and feel like you want to quit. So the difference is that when you are in flow, you are flexible. Your mind is not sticking to something. And notice that when you're not feeling so great, actually, you are kind of stuck. You feel like holding. You feel it feels like tight, rigid. So let's go into the practice. Let me drink a little bit before that. It's early in the morning for me. So pick an object in your room. Um, I'm just gonna pick whatever is here. So kind of a bag from the microphone. So what we're discussing in here is that your mental rigidness that is causing suffering. It's your resistance. So yeah, you may want to approach big problems in your life, and I would say, okay, yes, keep it light and easy. Become good at the easy stuff, and then go for the difficult stuff. So this is the easy stuff. Just pick something around you, and notice that you can see. I can see this bag in many different ways. If I don't do what I'm doing right now, this exercise, I would say, oh yeah, the bag of the microphone. But what if I start thinking, what if it's not just a bag of the microphone? What if I can put all the stuff into it? Oh, maybe I can take it and use it for something else. Or maybe I need a smaller bag for the microphone. This microphone is very small, so maybe it's too big. Suddenly I'm just questioning my point of view of the bag. And that's suddenly just bringing out a lot about of creativity and new angles and new possibilities to this object. So with whatever object you have in your hands, do the same thing. Suddenly just don't think, oh yeah, that's that. Yeah. But think about what if you see it differently? You change your perspective of it. Can you use it for something different? Do you need it really? Do you like it? Is this the color that I would use? Can I paint it? You see, suddenly the very fact that you step back and instead of just assuming this is the way it is and this is what I use it for all the time, you start considering what if you look at it from a different perspective. And that's the freedom. Rigidness means that no, this is the bag of the microphone and you're tight on it. And someone will come in, what if I use it? You'll say, no, 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 no. This is the bag of the microphone, period. Like an old man. But what if I say, oh, maybe it could be great for my kids? You know what? Most of the time, there are really great ideas. I may even consider put my kids in there. Um, but let's take this to a different level. The room where you are. This is probably a room where you do things in this way. You normally stay in this part of the room. You're normally giving this use and this feeling and this sense to that room. But what if you would reinvent the room? Yes, from the obvious thing, you could maybe, can you try just to move something around? Maybe sit in a different place. Maybe do things differently. Maybe look at something you haven't noticed before. Anything, any of that is you stepping back out of your boring, oh yeah, the room, I don't even see the room, I'm just in the room. Yeah, well, your brain doesn't even notice the room. But when you decide to step back from your position, your opinion, your like or dislike about your room, your ideas about its functionality. So it becomes like an empty space, ready for you to do whatever you want with it. And suddenly it's your room. I mean, yeah, I would say as an experiment, do change some of the furniture if you're in your house and in your room, please. If you're someone else's place, don't do that. Or maybe do that and let's see what happens. But talking about your room, if it's your room where you are now, just change something. Just for the sake of nothing in particular, just trying out something. You're changing your perspective about the use of the space. Now let's talk about your life situation, your work, maybe what you're doing, what your dreams are, what you're striving to get to. What if you would be, what if you would think differently about it? For example, about your job. There's a lot of people who are not completely happy in their job, and they will spend, our mind tends to spend a lot of time complaining about it. Like, my boss, the situation, this unfairness. And we just develop an incredible tight sense of me fighting against this. I don't want to go to work. This work is not good for me. We just develop that. And although there may be certain points that why that may not be your right job, and you should definitely look for another job. But for example, that is actually a point why you're in a job that you don't like. You certainly have the chance to look for another job. But we sometimes so tight into this way of the things are that we don't get to see all the possibilities that your life is showing you all the time, in front of you, all the time, every day. Today, there's a lot of opportunities in front of you. So going back to your life situation, something you're doing, see how other people take it differently. Meaning the same tasks, meaning the same salary. For some people, the same salary is too much. No, for nobody, I don't know anyone who says they're earning too much money. But for some people, they think, okay, yeah, I could live fine with less. So I'm very happy and appreciate that I have more money than I need. But I'm just going to save it or whatever. But maybe don't care. And there will be another person who will say, like, there's no chance that gets me to the end of the month. And this is not right. And this is difficult. And life sucks. And blah, 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 blah. Just notice, go back to the original point of the video. Notice how you are actually stuck. You have this rigid point of view, like, life sucks. Like, I don't like this job. I don't like myself. This is not good. I don't have enough money. And it's all that is all rigid. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying it's rigid. It's very limited. It's not gonna bring you to a new place. So I strongly suggest you to start seeing your job differently. What if your job, for example, is something, or your whatever is your occupation, is something even when you're not enjoying it, and you don't think it's the best thing you could do, what if that will give you something that will be what changes forever? Even when it's just the decision, I don't want to work anymore on this. You needed that job to help you bring to that edge situation where you take that decision. So I'm suggesting, what if even you're discontent with your job, it is actually giving you an opportunity that you wouldn't have if you were just like, nah, I'm fine. Okay, you wouldn't have that. So this friction with your job or life situation is actually, it could be, if you release your strict, tight point and opinion about it, if you would just playfully let your mind open and find new ways of seeing the situation. The situation is your job, but you can still see it in many different ways. So by practicing that, you will find yourself finding a better job or changing your relationship to your job. For example, I do coaching with people. And I remember a long time ago, sometimes I felt like, oh, I'd rather do something else today. Not for anything special, but, today, oh, I could just, watch another YouTube video or something like that. And I would feel like, oh, I have to go in there and people pay me for this. And that's how it felt at some point. It felt like a job. Not always. I always loved what I was doing, but But you know what? I always recognize this to some extent. So I always let it go. And you know what? I don't work. And I don't work in the sense that, not that I do spend a lot of time trying to help other people, but it doesn't feel like working. And people give me money, yes, but that's not what gives me energy. What it gives me energy is the fact that I'm not getting this lazy position of me versus the world, me having my freedom and the world being trapped in me. No, I am the world. Everything I meet is myself. And I have responsibility for everything, starting most importantly for my standpoint versus the situation. Anyway, I'm just trying to be of help and be honest on how you can absolutely turn your relationship to your job. And that most likely will change your life in so many ways, starting from the most important thing right now, how you feel about it, how it makes you feel about your day, the opportunities, the creativity, the problem solving, natural playfulness of your mind, tapping into that. But let's talk again. I hope this is not long, but I just see, yeah, a simple concept. But when you try to apply it, this is a different thing, right? Most people, yeah, I know this thing of flowing with my life and doing whatever. No, you got it wrong. Because if you get it right, your life is continuous flow of effortlessness and joy and creativity. It's not that you're not gonna find sometimes your mind trying to get rigid, but you're flowing. You're good. You're probably better than anyone you meet. Hopefully not. But in the sense that you also meet other people who are enjoying their lives a lot. So going back to another aspect, relationships. The next person you're gonna meet, or let's say the last person you met today before this moment, maybe it was yesterday. Anyway, the last person you met. What if you stand back from your opinions on that person? You can go back at your opinions, but just for as an experiment, what if you just see that person from a different perspective? Let's be playful. What if you start feeling, for example, imagine that someone who did something to you, or something negative, or someone who you're not feeling well about that person. What if you just notice that? Why just make up in your mind a story why that person is behaving like that? Or someone that you love, but they're behaving in a way that you cannot control, and that's making you suffer in some way. What if you will see the situation differently? What if you just become flexible and adaptative to it? Just what if you would consider a different angle? Certainly, what works most of the time, what if you really, really, really try to understand how that person feels? And what if I tell you that was the last time you saw that person alive? Does that change anything? How does that make you feel towards that person you saw? Do you appreciate that person more? Yeah, probably, most likely. So what if you were all the time living and on this playfulness and not knowing and flowing in this effortless? When I say effortless, I mean that the tightness of the mind is forceful. So it takes more energy to feel bad than to feel good. I know this seems to be the opposite of what you're experiencing, maybe, but no, it's very important that you understand it, because that's the way your mind is tricking you into make all this effort. No, it takes you a lot of energy to feel bad, to sustain this rigid attitude towards everything. I had more things prepared for today, but I'm realizing this may be already too overwhelming. And I already dropped some pointers that if you follow on what I'm saying today, if you follow with your day in this switching perspective, it's not that you need to go into another opinion, just the fact you just start questioning your rigid standpoint of view will be enough to let go of the negative emotion, of the sense of being stuck, of the frustration, of the limitation, of the powerlessness. You are doing the negative feeling. In a way you don't notice, I know. It seems to be that the outside is making you feel like that, but no, that's never the case. And if it would be different, there wouldn't be a chance for real freedom and for liberation. So I'm sorry, consider that actually when you feel bad, you're just wrong. But not even consider that if you don't want to fight with your mind. Maybe you may have strong opinions about certain subjects. Just think about this idea of being playful with your perspective about the situation. Just for the rest of the day today, my task to you for your liberation, for your continuous enjoyment, it is be determined to see everything different. Everything different. Play these games with you. Maybe imagine a different situation, maybe imagine a different angle. But most importantly, you could also just see things without having an opinion on them. Especially, I strongly suggest you to do that like crazy if you feel bad or if you feel numb in the sense of not enjoying your life, not enjoying your day. If that's the case, then I strongly suggest you to do it a lot. But if you're feeling good, just be playful with things. Maybe you're going to take a different way, a different route, walking or driving, wherever you are. Maybe you're going to say different things to the same person. Try it out. Spice up your life with spontaneity, flowing. Because in this way, you will notice that no matter what happens, there is a core harmonic, untouched aliveness in yourself that no situation can really make it go out of balance. The unbalancing of the emotional state is a doing. It's something you are cooperating with without noticing. I know nobody wants to suffer really on purpose. It's just a mistake. But it's very important that you notice that that's the case. Otherwise, you cannot undo it. So be playful. Do things differently. Think about things differently. And of course, let me know in the comments how it goes. These videos are supposed to be practical. I'm just throwing there. I want to know how is it going for you. If you manage to do it, if you find with any problem, I want to help you. So reach out to me if you need to. So what if you don't know what you're gonna be doing right after this video? This video is gonna finish very soon, man. What if you do something